Alrighty, welcome back to Shock and Schlock. I'm your host, Social Gillis, and today is day one of Cage Week, where I'm going to be reviewing a Nick Cage movie a day for the next 7 days. So yeah, keep an eye out because it's going down. Despite all my rage, I'm still just Nick Cage. Today, day one, is 1987's Moonstruck, directed by Norman Jewison. Starring, of course, Nicolas Cage and Cher, a film that I didn't expect to enjoy whatsoever, and I came out very surprised. So the film follows this woman named Loretta, who's a widow. It's important to know that she's Italian-American as well, because this is very much about Italian-American families and, how they, like, the inner workings of their, like, nuclear family in New York City. But anyway, Loretta, her husband passed away because he got hit by a bus, and she thinks that she's cursed to never be married or that marriage is bad for her, and her family thinks the same thing. So when her boyfriend, named Johnny, proposes to her, she accepts. She doesn't love him, but she says she likes him, so she thinks it'll work well. Johnny goes off to visit his dying mother in Italy. And he says he'll marry Loretta when he comes back after she has passed away. And in this, he also wants her to reach out to his brother, Ronnie, played by Nick Cage, who he hasn't spoken to for 5 years due to an accident that occurred, and it left bad blood between them. And of course, Loretta starts falling in love with Ronnie. But anyway, this film, chef's kiss. Absolutely adore this movie. It is a romantic comedy, but not one that is overly, like, sentimental in, like, a fake way, like a lot of romantic comedies are. I like a good romantic comedy. People who know me know that I do. One of my favorite films of all time is When Harry Met Sally. This is very much in that vein, where it's not corny. I just really love this. The acting in this is stellar. I came for Nick Cage, stayed for Cher, surprisingly. I'm not a big Cher fan, I'll be completely honest, but she absolutely phenomenal job in this film. She's very likable, very real feeling, kind of like fed up with everything and seeing like this relationship with Ronnie, or, Nick Cage's character, makes her like come back to life in a lot of ways, and it was very like heartwarming to see. Like, it felt very realistic, and it felt like, I don't know, encouraging, and in a time with a lot of uncertainty, it's nice to see stuff like that. So Nick Cage obviously does a fantastic job in this. This is one of his earlier roles. He's in his early 20s in this, and he's so good. He's so likable. Kind of this gruff, mean man with a big heart underneath all that. And he loves opera, and it's just, if you don't start falling for Nick Cage yourself while watching this movie, I don't know who you are, because man. But their dynamic is so good as well, like these two people that shouldn't work out together, and they both acknowledge that, but they do. It's just so good, and the rest of the cast in this is really great as well. Vincent Gardenia as Cosmo, the father of Loretta. He's great in this as well, as this kind of grumpy, stuck in his ways, older man who's afraid of a lot and makes a lot of mistakes. And her mother, played by Olympia Dukakis, also stellar, as Rose. Also want to mention, he's not in it a ton, but John Mahoney, who plays Perry, who's like this, like older / middle-aged. I mean, John Mahoney to me always looks old because I watched Frasier. I'm a big Frasier fan. He plays Frasier's father. Kind of washed up professor who Loretta's mother sees at restaurants, and he always gets water thrown on him by much younger women he's with, and they have this brief meeting. I think he does a stellar job in that as well. I think the cinematography in this film for a romantic comedy is actually above average in a lot of ways. It feels very fairy tale-esque in a lot of ways, despite not being corny at all. It feels very grounded at the same time. The soundtrack, classic. This is a really good movie in general. I mean, great acting, great cinematography, great soundtrack, great writing. Love the characters in this. Very fleshed out and not overly sentimental or sappy like a lot of romantic comedies are. So I highly recommend this. Not a film I would typically review on the channel, obviously, but I want to start doing that more on the channel this year. Started doing, not just horror or independent movies, but just stuff that I like or want to talk about more. So hopefully this week kind of brings that out. But anyway, that's it for today. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Keep your notifications on. I'll see you guys later. And as always, I've been your host, George Gillis, signing off. Zero thoughts, zero editing, zero brain cells, and zero planning. Thanks for watching.